Hey, welcome. Welcome along. My name is Gediminas. Welcome to the Thursday night training webinar. Hope you guys are having a fantastic week of the brand new year 2017. So, fittingly to that, I thought, why not talk about the 7 habits of highly effective people? Since we are starting a brand new year, we might as well arm ourselves with the best habits of highly effective people so we can have the best year in 2017. So just a few housekeeping rules. On the right hand side, you can see a chat box there. I can see Demante found it already, saying hi all. So you can say hi, tell us where you're from, where you're listening from, etc. And if you have any questions, you can also stick them in the chat box and we can have a look at them and answer them later on. And without the further ado, we're going to go ahead and start the training on 7 habits of highly effective people. Okay, so the first 3 habits are about managing yourself, because of course it all starts with me, right? It all starts with you, with managing yourself. And the first habit is the habit of choice, and it's a habit: be proactive. You see, it all starts with taking a personal responsibility. If you want to succeed in life, in business and in relationships and in any other area of your life, you have to take responsibility. You see, if you look at any successful people that you know or that you might come across or read their biographies, you will find that all of those people took charge of their lives. You see, they see alternatives and not roadblocks. They focus on what they can influence. You see, there are things that are out of your control, and there's no point worrying about them, etc. Instead, it's important to see, okay, what can I do to change the situation I'm in or to improve the situation, etc. You see, very often people ask the wrong questions. They say things like, why can't I lose weight? Or why am I always broke? Or why am I so unlucky? And if you ask those types of questions, guess what? You're going to find answers. You're going to find an excuse. One of my mentors always used to say, if you look for excuse, you find one you like. So you will always find something to justify why you're unlucky or why you're not getting results. But it's just an excuse. It's just a story you created to tell yourself to feel better about not going after what you actually are capable of. So instead of that, we need to look on what can I do? So the right question to ask would be, how can I afford that thing? Or how can I improve my business? Or how can I lose weight? Or how can I actually lose weight and enjoy the process, right? Because this way, then you will associate it with pleasure, right? So you're always taking the responsibility and being proactive is the first habit. So act on it. Take action, because you are free to choose and you're responsible for your choices. And at the end of the day, you will be the sum of all of your choices. Okay, habit number 2 is the habit of vision. And this habit is begin with the end in mind. You see, you need to start with the end in mind. I love how Jim Rohn always used to say that you don't start your day before it's finished. You don't start your month before it's finished. And you don't start your year before it's finished. What does that mean? Well, it means that you plan it before you start. Exactly the same way how you wouldn't start building a house without having a right plan, same way you shouldn't start your day or your week or your month or your year without planning it. So what you need to do is start with the end in mind. Now, one of the most important ends is the end of your life, right? So imagine if you walk into a room and you notice it's a funeral. And actually, you grow to understand that this is your funeral. What would you like people to say about you? How would you like people to remember you? What would you like people from your family to say? What would you like your friends to say? What would you like your business partners or your work colleagues to say? What sort of person do you want to be remembered? Now, if you have that in mind, the whole life changes perspective, doesn't it? Because you start acting and doing things in a different way because you're thinking about the end. But enough of the morbidity. Also, setting goals is the same thing, because you have then the end in mind. If you set a goal that, okay, in next 90 days I want to achieve this, now the whole of that period can be leading up to that goal becoming becoming reality. So you need to work on that, because mental creation always should precede physical creation. You should not go and try and do things haphazardly, because success doesn't happen on purpose. It doesn't happen by mistake, pardon me. It happens on purpose. So you have to plan. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, of course, nobody plans to fail, but in the absence of a clear set plan, then you will probably fail to achieve your goals and to achieve the higher levels, etc., because you're not acting on purpose. And also you need to have definite practical outcomes. I talk about this all the time, saying to people, okay, a lot of people go, I want more money. So go to them, okay, if I give you 2p, then you have more money, don't you? They go, no, I need a lot more than that, right? So you need to have clear goals. What sort of income do you want to earn? What sort of house you want to live? What sort of, physical body you want to have, etc. And you have to be very precise when you set those goals. Okay, so that's number 2. Habit number 3 is a habit of integrity and execution. And this habit is put first things first. You see, what you need to do is focus on the important, not just the urgent. You see, if you imagine 4 squares, if you imagine a piece of paper and you split it into 4 squares, each of those squares have a name. One square is urgent but not important. Other one is important and urgent. Other one is not important, actually important but not urgent. And the final one is not important and not urgent. You see, if I ask you, what could you do? What one thing could you do now to change your business, to achieve more in your business? What one thing you could do now or tomorrow or this week to really impact your business positively very much? What one thing could you do? Now, if you thought of something that you could do, that means that thing belongs in the quadrant important but not urgent. Why? Because you just said if you did that, it would really dramatically impact your business. But it's not urgent because otherwise you would already be doing it. You see, very often in life, we get faked out with the quadrant that is urgent but not important. You see, things that are happening and taking up our attention, things that, like your email coming in, your Facebook, messages or notifications coming through, your phone, ringing, etc. All of these things, they might not be very important, but they create a fake sense of urgency that, oh, an email just came in, I need to check it. Or, oh, somebody just commented, on my Facebook, I need to check it. And we can spend a lot of time doing things that are not important, but seem to be urgent, and missing out on actually doing things that are important, but might not be urgent right now. So you need to think, okay, what are the most important things? And for that, one of the strategies I share is this, again, the strategy where you split a piece of paper into 4 quadrants and you write goal 1, goal 2, goal 3 on 3 of the quadrants. And the last quadrant is miscellaneous. And in each of those goals, you write down what are your 3 major goals right now. It might be to do with your business, to do with your health, to do with your relationships, to do with your personal development, whatever you do, or maybe all 3 of them are business or whatever. But you write down the 3 of your most important goals in each quadrant, and then you write everything you're going to do this week in one of those quadrants. So if I'm going to go and call some customers, that will probably go towards my business goal. If I'm going to go and read a book on personal development, that's probably going to go in the quadrant of my personal development goal. And this way, basically, you assign everything you're going to do this week to one of the 3 quadrants or to the miscellaneous quadrant. This way, you visually can see, okay, how much of my activities for next week actually will go towards achieving the 3 of my major goals. Now, if you see that all of your page is empty and everything is in miscellaneous, then you realize that everything you're going to do next week actually not going to progress you in none of the goals. So this way you can actually understand now, okay, this is how much I'm putting in towards my goals. And you can then change something about it. You see, effectiveness requires the integrity to act on your priorities. right? What are the most important things? In business, I call those activities income producing activities. What are the things that when you do gonna make you money? And focus on those things, because it's so easy to get faked out and be busy, quote unquote, but actually not making money, not achieving what you're supposed to be. So what are your priorities? So plan weekly and act daily. Have your daily method of operation. A list on your phone, or maybe it's a sheet of paper that is stuck on your desk, a list of things that you need to do every single day in your business, in your personal development, in your whatever, to do with your goals, right? So this way you stick to that daily method of operation and you make sure that everything is ticked off every single day. So these are the first 3 habits. The second 3 habits are about leading others. These are the leadership habits. And the first one, habit 4, is think win-win. It's the habit of mutual benefit. You see, effective people, successful people, don't just think of how can I benefit me? How can I make more money for me? How can I get more value for me? They think, how can I create situations where both me and the other person will benefit, right? Effective long-term relationships require mutual respect and mutual benefit. And whether it's a business relationship or a family relationship or a friendship relationship, if both people don't benefit, then eventually it's not going to work out. So you want to make sure that it's not win-lose situation where you win and somebody else loses. You want to make sure that it's not lose-win situation where you lose and somebody else wins, because that's no good either. Many people associate win-win with you always, allowing the other person to win. But that's really not what this is all about, because just letting another person to win is a lot easier than seeking win-win, where both you and the other person wins. And this builds trust with your business partners, with your family members, with your friends. So every situation think, how can I create a win-win situation? If where I can give enough value, where if that person pays me, I feel that they got more value than actually they paid me. Or this way that it benefits both of us, right? So always think win-win. Habit number 5 is a habit of mutual understanding. And this habit goes like that. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. You see, we've been giving 1 mouth and 2 ears for a reason, right? We should be listening more and talking less. Unfortunately, for most of us, or for a lot of us, it doesn't happen that way. We want to talk more than to listen. But you see, again, something that I've noticed, that the most successful people that I know are extremely good at listening, are extremely good at understanding other people. You see, to communicate effectively, we must first understand each other. We need to practice empathic listening, right? Meaning that we feel for another person. And we need to be able to give honest, accurate feedback, right? Where we don't just wait for the person to shut up so we can start talking, but we actually listen and try to understand, where does this person coming from? What do they want to achieve? What are they seeking? And this will, again, can help us in family environment and especially in business environment. Sometimes we have people who join our business or become customers and we're not quite sure what do they want out of it. And we don't ask, we just assume, right? Never ever assume. Try to communicate effectively and understand, what does this person want to achieve? What is that person's goals? How can I help that person to achieve their goals? Okay, habit number 6 is the habit of creative cooperation. And this habit is called synergize. You see, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. You see, you've heard the saying, before, 2 heads are better than 1. But the reality is that if we want to achieve something great, we have to synergize. We have to work with other people. You see, when people first start in their life, they are dependent. As children, we are dependent on our parents and on our community. Then as people grow, most people move into independent. They become independent of their parents, of other people, and they think that they have arrived. But that is just the second step. The final step and the most successful step is to become interdependent, where you can be independent and you can take care of yourself, but you know if you work together with other people within your community, within your business, and within your family, you can achieve even better results than if you were working on your own. So synergize with other people to arrive at new and better alternatives. And finally, habit number 7 is a habit to unleash your potential. And this habit is the habit of renewal. And especially now at the beginning of the year, it's important to talk about renewal. And this habit is sharpen the saw. You need to stop and sharpen the saw. You see, to maintain and to increase the effectiveness, we must renew ourselves in body, heart, mind, and soul. You know, the story goes about a man, really laboriously cutting off this tree, and he kept going at it for a long time. And somebody comes to me and goes, "You must be really tired." And that man goes, "Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe." And he goes, "Why don't you stop and sharpen the saw?" And he goes, "Too busy sewing, dum dum," right? So sometimes we are too busy driving to stop and refuel. We are too busy building a business to stop and improve our skills. We are too busy recruiting to stop and improve our communication. We are too busy, working to stop and spend some time with our family, for whom we actually work in the first place, for whom we trying to make this money in the first place. So don't forget to stop and sharpen the saw once in a while, to replenish your batteries, to reboost your body, to reboost your mind and soul, and to really, really reconnect, and think to yourself, what is it that I'm doing? What am I seeking to achieve with this? What is my purpose? Is this making me happy? Because happiness is the most important key for success. If you're doing something and you're making money but you're not happy, that's probably not going to work. Or you're doing something, you're in a relationship that is not making you happy, that's again probably not going to work. So you always want to try and find ways to find how can you be more happy. And this habit of sharpening the saw will help you to increase that happiness in your life. So that's it, guys. These are the 7 habits of highly effective people, guys. So how did you find it? Did you find it useful? I can see a lot of people saying hi. Hey Pam, hey Stephanie, hey Totvidas, hey Nike, hey Gitana, hey Atiba, hey Ilze, hey everybody. We have a lot of people on the call today. So guys, did you find this useful? Does this ring a bell? Can you relate to this? Do you think these 7 habits, if you worked on them and improved them, would actually help you in business? Would they help you in your family life? Would they help you in personal, development? Stephanie, I can see she's saying very useful. Perfect, guys. So as always, guys, my wish for you is to, go to very top. Be the best you can be, achieve as much as you can, because that's what it's all about. It's about progress and it's about contribution. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you guys, as always, at the top.